All the important guys made their way to Paris for the grand reopening of Notre Dame, restored after the 2019 fire. President Trump, of course, couldn't miss the occasion and delivered a very brief and yet deep geopolitical analysis of the day. The world seems a little crazy. Macron naturally agreed. I'm Maria Drutska, and honestly, it really feels like the world has gone mad. In Romania, raids were carried out as a part of an investigation into illegal financing of a presidential campaign. Guess who is allegedly involved? I'm kidding, you know already. Russia, of course. Meanwhile, Iran is demanding Ukraine stop helping the Syrian opposition. And Trump, well, he just shrugged and said, let them do whatever they want. It's not America's war. As for Putin, he is back to swinging his Oreshnik missile around, now claiming he is providing a ballistic missile to Luka in Belarus next year. Well, let's take it one step at a time. But before we continue, don't forget to like this video. It's not a big deal for you, but pleasant to see for me. Notre Dame restored, a symbol of civilization. Notre Dame, the symbol of Paris, Europe, and, well, why stop there? Civilization itself has been restored. And here comes newly elected President Trump, not just casually dressed, but in blue suit and yellow tie. Macron arranged a half-an-hour meeting between Trump and Zelensky. Now you might call me a conspiracy theorist, but doesn't this feel symbolic? Leaders gathering to celebrate the rebirth of a European icon, while the president of a war-torn country meets with a one-man president. Decisions of who determine when the war ends. Of course, we are not counting Putin here. This war ends when he pulls his troops out of Ukraine, of course, but let's face it, daily deaths of Ukrainian civilians, relentless terror and constant shelling show zero signals that Putin is remotely interested in peace. By the way, it's eerie siren now in Kiev due to drone attack. After the meeting, Zelensky stated that everyone clearly now understands Ukraine needs. And it's important that leaders hear this directly from Ukraine, not through the third parties. As for Trump, he once promised during his campaign that he would end the war in 24 hours. Yet here we are. He's gone quiet. Occasionally we see vague statements from his advisors, but there is no actual plan for ending the war. And Trump hasn't explained actually what he means by ending the war or how he imagines achieving a ceasefire. Meanwhile, Putin shows no interest in compromise, and the latest proof was Tucker Carlson's interview with Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Lavrov took the opportunity to send a direct message to Trump, repeating the same narrative they've been pushing since 2022. But if to look closer, it was since 2014 or even before. Well, if you want more details about that, you can check it on my Twitter on Friday post that I wrote. For now, it's clear Trump has no idea what he's up against, and Russia is fully invested in undermining US influence, showing the world that America can't protect its allies. Sure, some might argue that Ukraine isn't in NATO, so the US isn't obligated to protect us. Fair enough, but let's not pretend this is just Ukraine's war. But if you are not some basement-dwelling expert, you understand this war isn't just about Ukraine. Today, it's not NATO's war, but tomorrow it could be. And if Article 5 ever fails to hold, that would mark the collapse of the entire security architecture. Well, let's hope we will never reach that point. And before I continue, I want to thank all of you who send coffees on Buy Me a Coffee and become Patreons, please do so. If you want more videos on the channel, you can also help this channel by subscribing to it and like this video, as it will definitely help Ukrainian content to be seen by more people. I suggest you also subscribe to my Twitter and Blue Sky page, where I post regular updates about the situation in Ukraine, and to my Instagram, where I show the daily life in Ukraine. Now, let me tell you how Putin just threw Assad under the bus. So Putin basically told Assad, "Sorry, my friend, but we have bigger priorities, attempting to wipe out the Ukrainian people," and didn't send him any help. In fact, Putin's even started pulling Russian troops out of Syria. Damascus is likely going to fail, maybe even tomorrow, and looks like Assad and his family have already fled to the UAE. The collapse of Assad's regime is a major blow to Russia's status as a global player. Since its intervention in Syria in 2015, Russia has poured enormous financial and military resources into propping up the Syrian government. Losing Assad would expose that even Russia's massive support doesn't guarantee the survival of its allies. That's bound to shake the confidence of Russia's current and potential partners, think Venezuela or Belarus. Now, here is what's interesting. Assad's regime is crumbling in a matter of days. His government troops are in full-blown panic mode. Since late November, Assad's army lost more than 389 pieces of equipment, much of it Russian-made, by the way. And just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, here comes the news. After fleeing to the UAE, Assad is reportedly reaching out to the United States for help amid the uprising in Syria, writes Bloomberg. Assad is ready to cut deals. Well, he is offering to cut ties with Iran and Hezbollah, or negotiate safe passage out of Syria in exchange for US assistance in stopping the conflict. Who is helping broker these communications too? You will never guess. Just kidding, of course you will. It's Viktor Orban, all dictators' favorite buddy. Supposedly, Assad sent a high-ranking Christian leader to Orban, pleading about the supposed threat to Christians in Syria if Islamist rebel takes power. Naturally, Orban, as the biggest defender of Christianity, is expected to rush to their rescue. Right. Well, Russia's military defeat in Syria is yet another case in their long list of nuclear powers can't lose wars. It's just impossible. And this should serve as a wake-up call for nations like the United States. When here is a cherry on the top, and the last one, Iran has demanded that Ukraine stop sharing drone technologies with Syrian rebels. Let me repeat that Iran, the same country that handed Russia thousands of drones to strike and kill us Ukrainians, is now asking us, demanding to stop doing something. Ridiculous. Well, that's it for today. I want to thank all of you for supporting Ukraine, watching Ukrainian content. Please like this video, and if you really like it and you want more videos, you can support the channel's development on Patreon or buy me a coffee. See you soon, and Slava Ukraini!